You know, Abraham in Genesis 21, he started to see the promises of God be fulfilled. He'd received his son. He'd been building wealth. And so it says that he planted a tree. And I think it's significant because he planted this tree. It shows that he's starting to this is what it says. He planted a tree and he called on the name of the Lord. He worshiped the Lord and he called the Lord a name, El Olam, which means the everlasting God. So you can imagine he's in this moment worshiping the Lord by planting this tree, remembering how faithful the everlasting God had been to him, fulfilling his promise to him. He plants this tree and this tree would outlive him. This tree would provide shade and protection and blessing for generations. And just like these big gum trees, it would be this testimony of the faithfulness of God to Abraham. And so I was saying to this couple that this wedding day, this is only the start of their love. And that to make a marriage work, it takes work. It takes work to forgive and to walk and to be one. You know, the Lord says that when two come together, they become one. So for the rest of their lives now, they're learning, but they're going to keep changing. That's why we make vows. Because as they look at each other and they make these promises over the next days, months, years, forever, they are going to change. And so because they're going to change and because life changes, the winds and the currents of life against us, we need something to hold on to that doesn't change. That's the everlasting God. And so just like when you go on family holiday in a place you've never been, if you visit America or India or some other place, you have GPS. And without GPS, you would not know where to go. And you know, fishermen, when they go out to sea, if they want to stay on where the fish are, they need to turn on the spot lock, which also is GPS. But that means it doesn't matter what current's going on underneath them or what wind is pushing against that boat, they're going to stay true. They're going to stay in that one spot exactly where the fish are. And or it's like the North Star. You know, for thousands of years, sailors have used the North Star during the night to know that they're going north. Or like we know, the sun always rises in the east. These are ever-present, constant things which point to the everlasting God. And so for this couple, the rest of their life, for their marriage to work and for their life to really go the way it needs to go, they need to be under the protection and the shade and the blessing of the everlasting God. They need to be in the Word because that is a foundation. They need to be in prayer. You know, we're in a series of